Hi guys, welcome to the Geterbrewed channel. So today we're going to do a very quick brew in a bag, all grain brew. We're getting a lot of questions on how it works. So this is just a beginner friendly brew in a bag. I have a Pico boiler here. It's one of the Geterbrewed brew in a bag starter kits, fermenter, beer paddle, nylon bag, sterilizer, immersion, copper chiller, and then obviously an ingredient kit. Today we're doing the hoppy APA. So this is just a little spirit thermometer. Because this is the basic Pico boiler, it doesn't have a dial with the temperature or a digital display. Those options are available, but I'm just using the basic one because I want to aim this right at the beginner. So you can see the temperature is rising there. It's high 60s at the moment. I'll just give that a second to give us an accurate reading. So when it comes to brewing an all grain brewing recipe, we did a video there recently on how to calculate your mash and sparge volumes. Brewing a bag is slightly different in that you can't sparge effectively because it can be very difficult holding the bag and trying to rinse the bag with more water. So what we're wanting to do here is check that we're getting our required temperature. We want to be a little bit higher than the actual mash in temperature because we don't want to be adjusting the heat element once we've submerged the grain into the bag. So I've got that just over 70 degrees and I want to do a mash in now to take that down to 67 degrees. Got our large nylon bag here and it fits just perfectly over the Pico boiler. Make sure it's securely on before you add the grain. So you can see I've got that on nice and secure all the way around. Hoppy APA kit, mashing at 67, aiming to ferment at 19. So as it said, we've got our bag inside the nylon bag. We've got our water just a few degrees higher than we actually want to achieve. So the grain's going to be a little bit cooler. So we've added the grain. Just take our paddle and give it a mix just to try and make sure that there's no clumps and also to get everything just sort of really well mixed with the water. So the science behind it is you're wanting the water and the malt to carry out enzymatic activity to convert the starches to fermentable sugars. So because I had went quite high on the strike water or the mashing in water there, you can see that this is really easy to get the malt to mix. Lovely smell. I love the smell of homebrewing with whenever the malt's added. With brewing a bag, what we have done here is we've mashed in with a lot more water than we normally would to allow the infusion of the grains with the water. And because it's so difficult to sparge, what we're wanting to do is hit our pre-boil volume. And the pre-boil volume in this particular kit is going to be 27.5 litres. So I need a helpful assistant now to take the bag out and then I'm going to rinse the grains. Yeah, very good. So just pull the drawstring there close. So resist the temptation to squeeze the bag. So just lift it up slowly, just nice and slowly, and allow the wort to drain out of the bag. So sparge water, you can heat that up in your kettle at home using the. You just lifted that with one hand, did you? One hand and then look, he's struggling with two.
I think I was only doing a gallon at a time.
Yeah, yeah. So sparging with brewing a bag can be difficult, as you can see. Allow the water to run off. You can see there now it's running quite well. And we're wanting to give them one final rinse here with the sparge water to achieve a pre-boil volume to allow us to continue on to the next process, which is the boil. Why are you shaking?
I'm worried about my arms.
Yeah. You can see now why all-in-one brewing systems have their benefits. So Some people, there's arguments pro and against squeezing the bag. If it's a light beer, I don't think it's an issue. If it's a dark beer, you may want to be cautious of that because you could extract tannins from the grain, which may give you a different flavor profile. So we're getting near our target pre-boil volume there. So what we're wanting to do now is bring this to a rolling boil, and then we add hops at different stages throughout the boil. It says on the little hop bags at what stage they add them, so I'll just plug this in. So I've popped the lid on to the kettle there just to allow it to get their rolling boil. Just be careful whenever you're lifting that off that you don't cause yourself any issues. So you can see now Pico boiler gives it a really good vigorous boil. What we're going to do is add our hops. There should be 60-minute hop addition. So you can see the team here, you know, they want you to be able to brew easily, so they've added the addition times to the hop tea bags. So 60, 10 and 0. So 60-minute hop addition, you can see we put all our ingredient kits into the hop tea bags. Allows for good strength, durability and really good dispersal. So we just chuck that in. That's the start of our boil process. So that'll boil for, we start at 60 and count down. So the next hop addition is at 10 minutes, which means it's 50 minutes from now. So next hop addition is 10 minutes before the end of the boil, and at this stage we add the Protafloc tablet as well. So we put our 10-minute hop addition in. So you can see a couple of different varieties of hops on this occasion, and our Protafloc tablet. It's like a carrageen seaweed based product which helps. It's basically a kettle fining. So we've added our 60-minute hops, 10 minutes hops, and we're coming to near the end of the boil. At this stage, what we want to do is submerge the immersion copper chiller and add the last hop addition. So we've added the copper chiller. The reason we add it now is to sterilize it whilst it's still boiling, and then the 0-minute hop additions. You can see a couple of different hop varieties again, so we're going to add those in, and then we'll knock the boil process off. So I'm just going to give the hop tea bags a little bit of help in getting submerged and diffused. The reason we use the hop tea bags in this means that you don't get a lot of hop sediment going through into the fermenter. So now the next stage is to chill the wort. Get one of my helpful assistants again, so give me a hand. And so what we're wanting to do now is run cold water through this immersion coil, and then the water generated from the cooling process comes out. So it'll differentiate slightly. You can see here we need just a little bit more PTFE tape on this here to give it a really good seal. 15-20 minutes. Use your thermometer to monitor the temperature as this cools over a 15 or 20 minute period. The pitching temperature that I'm aiming for with this kit is early 20s, so say 21, 22 degrees. Once the cooling's finished, we want to transfer it over to the fermenter. What I would propose to do is we just rotate the Pico boiler around and draw off the tap. So open the tap, let gravity do its work, and the wort will go down into the fermenter. The benefit of that also is as it's flowing down in, you're going to get a little bit of oxygenation, which is a good idea to get the wort oxygenated before we pitch the yeast. We've our fermenter sterilized and ready to go, and we're going to just rotate this around to the edge of the table to allow us to start transferring the wort into the fermenter. Okay, so we've completed the transfer. We've hit our target in relation to the amount of liquid that we want. What we want to do now is pitch the yeast. So we've just taken the yeast out of a sterilizing solution. So the packet, the outside of the packet and the knife are sterile, and then we literally just sprinkle the yeast onto the top of the fermenter. We've got our lid sterilized with the airlock. We're just going to seal that on nice and tight, and then we put a little bit of the sterilizing solution into the airlock, covered this before, but it's important. What happens here is yeast eats the sugars in the wort and creates carbon dioxide, and that bubbles out through the airlock, but the little water well in here prevents oxygen getting in. So thanks very much guys for watching. This was a really quick brew in a bag video. We hope you find it helpful. If you need any assistance or technical help in doing this process at home, don't hesitate to reach out to us. If you liked the video, please give us a like and consider subscribing and hitting the bell, and then that'll let you know whenever we've released new videos. Until next time, happy brewing.